Hey, it's time for lesson 54. I hope you had some progress yesterday. I'd love to hear about it, so please drop a comment or send me an email. All right, lesson 54. We are going to review number 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 for this lesson. Let's go. Number 16/1, I have no neutral thoughts. Neutral thoughts are impossible because all thoughts have power. They will either make a false world or lead me to the real one. But thoughts cannot be without effects. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. My thoughts cannot be neither true nor false. They must be one or the other. What I see shows me which they are. So this continues the idea that we were talking about yesterday, that what you see or what you think is what you will see. And I love this because, first of all, neutral thoughts are impossible because all thoughts have power. So whatever you think, whether it's good or bad, you're putting that out there. You're putting that thought energy into the universe and drawing more of whatever vibration that is in back to you. So if you're at a low, down, upset, fearful vibration, you are going to be living in that vibration and experiencing others at that level. If you are thinking joyful, loving, high frequency vibration thoughts, you will then be living at that vibrational level or that frequency and attracting more of other people and things that are living at that frequency as well. So your thoughts are not neutral. Everything you think has an effect and affects your life. But here's the thing, you can let your errors be corrected. So the thinking that you were thinking, while it may have been false or it may have been creating a world you did not want, you simply have to correct the error. You don't have to pray for forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself and then go, okay, how can I think differently? How can I see this differently? And take steps towards correcting that way of thinking. It can take time. I talked about how I still had micro judgments just like a month ago, and they still pop up. Sometimes you don't even realize you're being judgmental, and you are, and it just takes a little awareness and help from your higher self. Okay, number 17/2, or vice versa. I see no neutral things. What I see witnesses to what I think. If I did not think, I would not exist, because life is thought. Let me look on the world I see as the representation of my own state of mind. I know that my state of mind can change. And so, I also know the world I see can change as well. That is the good news, guys. I remember when I went to a therapist, I don't know, maybe like 7 years ago, and I felt like I just had these ruts in my brain as a way of thinking and a way of approaching life and relationships that wasn't working for me. And it was so frustrating because I felt like these were learned behaviors from growing up a certain way in a certain place with certain people, and those examples in front of me had created this way of reacting to life that I had. And she gave me hope in telling me that I can change. And I sort of changed with her. I did. I got better, but nothing's helped me change and rewire my brain better than this course, because it's so focused on the things that matter, and that's letting go of the past, forgetting about the future, and forgiving all that you can. Everything. Forgive it all. Forgive it all. Every single thing you have ever done or has ever been done to you. Forgive it all. So, the things you see in this world, everything is helping you. Everything shows you exactly where you are, where your state of being is. The other day, one thing after another went wrong. It was crazy. Even, this is so ridiculous, I had a baggie of like a roll of dog poop bags, and every bag in the roll, just for that day, I'm not even kidding, the same roll, the rest of the bags were fine. Just for that day, that roll of bags, they all had slits in them. And when I go to open it, it was like completely worthless. And this happened over and over again on this one particular day where I was thinking some really just crazy thoughts. And then once I got my thoughts together and I calmed down and I regrouped, the next day when I used that baggie or roll of bags, all of them were fine. I'm not kidding. It was crazy. So when things they just feel like nothing's going right for you and you feel this frustration, that's okay. That is great, because the world is showing you, okay, you are having some darker thoughts. Now, how can we get you to a higher vibrational level? Go into meditation. Recognize that what you're seeing is not real and you can change it. Okay? So the world you see can change and your mind can change. And it all comes back to the way you think. All right, number 3/18. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. If I have no private thoughts, I cannot see a private world. Even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. Yet that sharing was a sharing of nothing. I can also call upon my real thoughts, which share everything with everyone. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, so my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them. And the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their sight as well as mine. So we are all connected. We are all one. And the more of us who live at a higher vibrational level, the more of us who get control of our thinking and choose to think with love and with peace and choose happiness, that affects the world we see, which affects the world someone else sees, and so on and so on and so on, until everybody's seeing a pure, loving, beautiful world. I can't wait for that to happen, and it's going to happen. It has to happen, because more and more people are choosing to think differently. They're not accepting being told what to think anymore. And this course, some people have said that it's like mind control. Okay, but they're not telling you what to think. They're really not. They're teaching us how to think. They're teaching us how to change our thought patterns. They're not saying you have to think this particular thing or believe this particular thing. They're simply saying your thoughts are going to control what you see. So what do you want to see? Change your thinking to reflect what you want to see. So I think the last sentence, and the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their sight as well as mine, I think it's the most beautiful, loving, and exciting gospel I've ever heard of. When we share this good news, the good news is that you are not chained to the life and the world that you have created. You can change it, and you can change. All right, number 4/19. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am alone in nothing. Everything I think or say or do teaches all the universe. A son of God cannot think or speak or act in vain. He cannot be alone in anything. It is therefore in my power to change every mind along with mine, for mine is the power of God. So this goes back again to the idea that we are all one, we are all connected, and nothing you do or think or say happens in a vacuum. It all connects and has consequences, be them good or bad. I personally would like to leave a trail of flowers and butterflies and just happiness. So the way to do that is to pay attention. How are you thinking? How are you speaking? How are you acting? All of those things are creating a world around you. And things are coming back to you based on how you think, act, speak, do. Okay? Number 5/20. I am determined to see. So powerful. I am determined to see. Recognizing the shared nature of my thoughts, I am determined to see. I would look upon the witnesses that show me the thinking of the world has been changed. I would behold the proof that what has been done through me has enabled love to replace fear, laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God are one. God being love, the will of love, my will is the will of love. It is one. So I have a little note here that I wrote down, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, my number one job is to be aware of my thoughts, to learn to think with God, with love, with acceptance and forgiveness. The world is affected by my thoughts. So, in Jesus' time, they had to let go of all their stuff and go travel the world to teach this gospel, the idea that you can choose love and choose forgiveness. And luckily now we have technology and YouTube, and I can put this out there, and other people can put their videos out there, and it can suddenly be shared with so many people. So if you feel so inclined and you think, I have thoughts too, I want to make videos, do it. Make more videos. Make your own and put them on YouTube also. Share them with me. I'd love to watch them. I'd love to learn from you. And if you feel like that's not your thing, but you do find that you're gaining insight or some sort of happiness or joy from watching these videos, share them with people you think, or maybe you're not even sure if they would like it or not. Talk about these things. I know it's weird. I didn't talk about the Course in Miracles book with anyone for a really long time. I thought it was weird and embarrassing, and I just wasn't sure. And then I started to practice more and more consistently. And the more consistently I practiced and the more I was changing, I couldn't help but respond to people in such a way that it was coming from a place of love. And so I hope that's happening to you. I hope you're seeing changes, and please share them with me. All right, that's the end of lesson 54. I will see you tomorrow for lesson 55. All right, take care.